Morning YouTube. Well, just worked out that I've got the external mic working properly. So bear with me a second. Sort this out a bit. So I'm going to go down here a bit. So here I am at home. Just wanted to talk about a few things really. The differences between living in the UK and the Philippines, the benefits and not so much the benefits, like the negatives of either side really. So if you're working and living in the UK, obviously it puts stress on your relationship. We're 10,000 miles apart. That for a start is not good. You have to work at it. Of course, the benefits of being in the UK, which I have to do till I'm 67, is work and earn money. Now, there's a common misconception, should we say, here. Englishman working home in England, well, he must be very rich then. He must be a very wealthy man. What people don't tend to realise is that I spend roughly £2,000 a year, which is what, 140,000 pesos a year, just on travelling to the UK and back to the Philippines. That's a lot of money to have to earn just to get your money back. There's a lot of shifts you have to do just to get your money back. So yes, I earn good money in the UK, not in UK comparisons, but comparisons to here in the Philippines. I'm in one hell of a lot of money. I mean, I earn a day, what would it be? So say if I do a night shift, say just for an average, I'm doing £100 a night, which is give or take the average, yeah. So £100 a night. Also, you got your fuel costs. I get my fuel paid there, but it never works out because you're taxed on that. So people don't realise that as well. There's, of course, nowadays when I'm in the UK, I used to live at my mum's place, which was convenient. Of course, my mum wasn't taking rent from me, so that was good as well. Nowadays, I'm on a campsite. It's not expensive. It's £7 a night, but that mounts up. See what I mean? So that's what, it's £7 a night. It's a couple £100. What's that work out? A couple of £100, £7 a night, 10.70. Yeah, it's over 200, between 210, £220, depending a month. So you've got that as well. Okay, then you've got your fuel costs and your eating and everything. So there is, like I say, a common misconception that I'm English, I'm earning a lot of money, so I must be worth a fortune. This is simply not the case. So that's one of the problems, the cost of to in and fro in, if you like. It's a lot of money. So when I get back, so say it's cost me this time, I've got a flight, I think it's about £800 return. The return I can't use again because of visa issues, but I have to book that. I didn't have to book the return, but I did, thinking I'd get away with it this time, but it turns out I can't. So that return flight again is for nothing. That's why it cost me double the amount as it should do. So yeah, so that's like I say, it's with buses and hotels and actually getting to the campsite and set up, you're talking £1,000 at least, probably more. You know, so you're doing that twice a year, to in and fro in. So you're talking at least £2,000 to £2,500 that I've got to earn. Now, if I'm on £100 and I'm doing, say, 3 shifts, that's £300 a week, and I'm being taxed on this, okay, which people have to realise as well. This all sounds very good, but you get taxed on it. So £300 a week on average, yeah, 3, 6, 9, 12, so £1,200 a month, yeah, which does sound really good. But you take away those, so you take just the £1,200. That's 2 months basically. I've got to work a year just to pay for my travel. So this is why it doesn't add up that I've got a lot of money. I just haven't. Now when I retire, and the plan is I think I will retire in the Philippines, I haven't got a great amount of pension. I've just got the state pension. I haven't got the full state pension because I didn't work in the UK for 35 years, I think it has to be, so you get the full state pension. I was abroad working in Germany for 15, 16 years. I will hopefully, with a bit of help from my boys, get my pension sorted out there when I'm 67, so in 7 years' time, so I should get a little bit from there. But on the whole, I just don't think I'll have any more than, say, £650. I know it's £580 I've worked out I get from the UK when I retire a month, and say another £100 from the Germany maybe. Say 650 is roughly what I'll be getting. So I can live very nicely on that because I don't really need to touch that much of it. Just a bit of shopping every now and then here, and of course upgrading my motorbikes. Next time when I'm here, I think I'm going to be getting what they call, I've had one before, as an owner type Jeep. I'm going to do a video about that in the future. It's basically the old Willys Jeep that the Americans used in the Second World War and Vietnam. When they left the Philippines after the war, they left the rights to the Filipinos to make these Willys type Jeeps, and so they're basically handmade. They've normally got like sort of big Toyota engines in them, 3 litre petrol, 3 litre diesel, whatever. They're big things. The gearing never seems to be right on them, so you can't seem to get any top speed, but they're very convenient for around here. And like, we went away for a few days now, and it was brilliant, lovely weather like we got now, gorgeous weather. You've seen the video probably, swimming and everything and walking around there, lovely place to be. But the weather changed on the last day and I got soaked, absolutely soaked through my clothes. I was wringing wet when I got back. So in the future I'm hoping to get a different form of transport. I still want to keep to the bikes, but a different form of transport. So I might be getting one of these owner type Jeeps, as they call them. The jeepneys are the buses. They're the longer version of it, which they use for their buses, which Sally went on the other day to get to the campsite. She was lucky because coming back, the lady there, very friendly lady, who's now a friend of Sally's, she organised that her husband, who was coming this way in his vehicle and in a pickup truck, that he came and picked Sally up and the children. So that was brilliant. So they got back in the nice dry. They didn't have to wait for a bus in the rain or anything. So, but I got absolutely drenched. So I'm hoping to avoid that in the future, that if we go anywhere round here for the bikes, or if it's just myself and Sally going off on trips, it'll be the motorbike. But if we go with children or the weather's not looking good, I need a different form of transport. So that's something else I'm looking forward to. Anyway, getting back to what I'm originally trying to talk about is the fact that I'm not as wealthy as people think I am, and the advantages, disadvantages of living in the Philippines. So I do like the weather, but I do struggle with the heat. My skin struggles with the heat. That's one part of it. I can't complain because I do like the sunny weather, but at the same time, sometimes I struggle a bit. But I'm only every year for 4 or 5, sometimes 6 months at a time, so I sort of get by. One of my other problems is the language barrier. Now, years ago, in the early 90s, I moved to Germany. I was younger then, I was still in my late 20s, and I picked up the language there pretty quick. The first few months, I was too shy to speak the German language, but you can say after 6 months I'd started really well, and after 12 months I was pretty impressed myself with how good my German had got. It was never perfect, but I could always hold a decent conversation, and I can't here. And I sometimes I struggle with the fact, even working in the shop here, I struggle with the fact that sometimes I can't serve the customers. I constantly have to call Sally to come and help me. So that's a frustrating part as well. One of my parts of my life that I found, especially with travelling backwards and forwards, never really been able to save that much money. I haven't got what you can call my own place, my own home. It's never going to happen. I'm too old for that now. So obviously this is Sally's place. I've got my shop, well, our shop, but actually something of my own, no. That's why I sort of plan eventually to have something extended on top of the shop, a little apartment maybe, or one of these bamboo houses you saw a few weeks ago. But there's no real space for that here, so again, I'd have to have a piece of ground. I'm also looking to start growing some fruit trees here, but then that's got to be not now, it's going to be in the future, because obviously with my to-in and fro-in, it's not going to work, is it? I can't be in 2 places and keep an eye on my trees and everything. So that's something I'm looking forward to into the future. I rented a piece of ground somewhere and growing some fruit trees. I'm looking forward to that, but that's a long time in the future. And of course it depends on the health, doesn't it? On my health. You know, I'm getting on, I'm 60 now, 61 later this year, or at the end of this year. So yeah, so just to let you know, just like sort of general chat really, my feelings on things. Sometimes I struggle on both. Like I say, I struggle being in the UK sometimes because I'm far away from my wife. Other times when I'm here, I think the heat, oh my God, I want to get back to the UK where it's not so hot. It's quite funny here when it goes down to sort of 21, 22 degrees like it did when I first got here. It wasn't that hot. People hear Sally and her mum saying about how cold it was, and there's me thinking, hang on a minute, I know it was -5, -6 in the UK at the time, and there was snow on the ground. And I'm thinking, no, that's cold. Or where Sally's sister lives in Iceland, now that's really cold. So it's all relative, isn't it? Yeah, so that's quite funny. So yeah, in the future now, I'm hoping to do a few more videos. I want to do one of these jeepneys, and the only type Jeep that I'm looking forward to buying next time when I'm here, maybe. I want the bike as well, so I can't have everything. Like I say, I don't earn that much money, or I don't get to save that much money. So yeah, just to let you know, really, things aren't always, you know, it looks like, look behind me now, the palm trees and everything, always Steve's in paradise. He must be having a lovely time, which I am on the majority of the time. You know, I'm not going to complain about my life, but it's not as simple as people might think. And of course, there's the traveling itself. It takes it out of you. You know, each time it takes me roughly with, you know, cars and buses and trains and aeroplanes, it takes me in different hotels, it takes me 3 days to actually get back here, and the same when I go back. So I leave here on the 11th, so we'll be leaving here on the 10th of April. I'll be flying on the 11th. I'll be back at Heathrow on the 12th, and on the campsite maybe the 12th of that night, or the 12th, or maybe on the 13th. So you can see it's 3 days really, the traveling. So that takes it out of you, and as I'm getting older, I'm struggling more and more with that. But on the whole, obviously I can't complain. Life's been very good to me. I'm very healthy, really, considering I smoke the old pipe, I like my beer, I eat too much, I've got a weight issue, but on the whole, you know, I'm a healthy person. So I don't have any diabetes, I don't have any blood pressure issues, my only thing is my back, because I've worked, like I told you before, I've worked so hard in my life, my back and my left side of my body is pretty decrepit. But I get by, you know, I'm not in that great amount of pain, and the pain I have with it, you sort of learn to live with, don't you? And everybody has something, and mine's minimal, it really is. So yeah, that's another thing. Anyway, I just thought I'd have a bit of a chat today, because I'm not going to be doing any videos as such in the next couple of days, so I thought I'd get that out. There was if you remember, I told you when they come here with their motorbike and sidecars with all the plastics on them, it's a very colourful thing. Young man turned up with one yesterday, which I'm going to put on later today, but it wasn't as big as some of them are, so it's okay, but it's not the one I'm really looking forward to filming and showing you. But you'll get the general idea when I put that up in the next couple of days. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope this has made some kind of sense. I know I do rabbit on a bit. Anyway, that's it for now. Take care. Like I say, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.